What is up, everyone out there in Internet Land? This is Anime Man 73 here doing a face re-reveal. Okay, yes, I admit I'm no Brad Pitt look-alike, but, well, my genes are my genes, and I'll just have to deal with them, especially as I get older. Oh well. Anyway, I do apologize if the light's not all that good. I'm still working on getting an LED light, though these things take time because I'm not a rich man. Anyway, I just recently returned from my trip to Seattle for Sakura-Con 2026. The video you're about to see are my observations from my trip up to Seattle for said convention, as well as my quick observations of the convention itself. I hope you'll enjoy!
As stated, there will be music and a video playing in the course of this commentary. The video that you're seeing right now is from the YouTube channel Lone Star Trip Reports, a channel that proved quite useful when I was planning my trip to Sakura-Con in Seattle. The music you're hearing is from the YouTube channel Soul of Wind. I'll leave links to both channels in the description below. Now with that said, on with the observations. Now, since this was day 0, this was the day of travel up to Seattle for Sakura-Con 2026. I took a cab from my home to the Portland Union train station in downtown Portland. The cab trip was pleasant enough. In an ironic twist, and I mean ironic as in surprise. No sooner did I get into the station and found a sign to read than I was approached by an Amtrak employee. I explained that I was legally blind, showed them the printed copy of my ticket, they scanned it, and they explained to me that since I was traveling business class to Seattle, that opened up the Metropolitan Lounge for me to use. And so I decided to take full advantage of it. You should know that anyone who's traveling business class or using a sleeper train can use the Metropolitan Lounges. However, if you're traveling to Seattle for something and, well, don't want to use the Metropolitan Lounge, do be aware that there's a souvenir shop in the Portland Union train station, which you can buy snacks from if you want to be prepared. Now, as soon as I got into the Metropolitan Lounge, I took advantage of the complimentary snacks and drinks in there, and I enjoyed their soft couches and read my book while I waited for my train. When it was time for my train, number 518, to board, a red cap or baggage handler came in. I walked up to them, explained that I was legally blind and needed help, and they were more than happy to help me and another lady who had some mobility issues. I have to say that Red Cap was very, very pleasant and was very helpful. He got us onto their vehicle, transported us out to our train, and got us on board with our bags safe and sound. And incidentally, one of the bags I have was a shoulder bag. The other was my big bag, which I had the baggage handler carry. Bit of travel etiquette here. If you're going to use the red caps or baggage handlers, make sure to, since you're allowed three free bags on the train, make sure to tip them $5 per bag. You heard right. Tip the baggage handler $5 a bag. That's good travel etiquette, and with the hard work they do, they deserve that. Now, once we were on the train, all I had to do was sit in some of the nice leather seats in business class and wait for the train to leave. And I was surprised when the train actually managed to get out of the train station on schedule. Which is something of a surprise because, well, sometimes the Amtrak Cascades can be late. Which is why it's a good idea that if you're going to use the Cascades or the Coastal Starlight, yeah, you might want to make sure you're not in a hurry. That's a very good idea. But I digress. Anyway, I chose to sit in a business class seat that was actually facing north, which proved to be something of a mistake for me, because the most scenic view is definitely on the left side when you're facing north. Oh well, it was a rookie mistake and I made it. Just like I stutter, I dither, but I'll do my best to get my point across. Oh well, I enjoyed the train ride anyway, and I'll be more than happy to do it again next year. Now, for the train trip up on the Amtrak Cascades 518, they have a bistro cart, which I was more than happy to use. I can say this for certain. The Swiss and Turkey Club sandwich was okay, as were the chips. The Gold Peak iced tea was very good. They weren't anything special. But I can definitely say the Ivar's clam chowder was absolutely delicious. Now, I definitely understand why Ivar's is a top-grade seafood restaurant. Ivar's clam chowder. Good. And I can say Wanda, who was running the bistro, she was a very pleasant conversation. After enjoying my lunch/dinner of clam chowder, a Swiss and Turkey Club sandwich, and my Gold Peak iced tea and my chips, I returned to my seat and just relaxed to enjoy the view, or at least what view I could. It was still pleasant enough. The trip up to Seattle was peaceful enough, though outside of Tacoma we had to divert onto one of these side rails in order to allow a southern-bound train to pass. Considering the fact that we're on a single track, yeah, things like this are going to happen. So again, it's best to make sure that if you're going up to Seattle or even as far as Vancouver, British Columbia by train, that you make sure you're not in a rush. Now, after getting up to Seattle's King Street Station, I got my things, got off, no problem, and went into the station. Now, it didn't take me long to find my girlfriend, Peach Wookie, as she was waiting in her car outside. Special shout out to you, Peach Wookie. Love you, beautiful. Anyway, after she picked me up, we drove to my hotel, the Hyatt at Olive 8, which is situated conveniently between the Seattle Convention Center Summit Building, the Arc Tower, and the Arch Building. It's a convenient halfway point for those who want to rest from the action of Sakura-Con. And I will admit, the Hyatt at Olive 8 has always been a very pleasant place to stay. They've got clean rooms, they've got a nice restaurant, and they've got a great bagel shop in case you want to get a quick bite of breakfast. After getting situated in my hotel room, my girlfriend and I went out to the registration room for Sakura-Con 2026. It was situated in the Summit Building. And I have to say, I was impressed. The registration room has actually grown quite a bit, and there were much longer lines. And boy, oh boy, were those lines packed. Now, fortunately, there were a lot of people manning the booths, so it wasn't a problem. And the ADA line was no exception to that, thank God. And considering the fact that my girlfriend has asthma and I have Asperger's and my visual impairment, yeah. Once we got to the ADA desk, we got our badges with the little ADA stickers on it. And well, we also got the program and we're on our way. I can definitely say the program had a lot more detail on it, though as I've stated in the report, there are some ways that the convention can improve. You'll have to read the report to find out. Anyway, after that was done, I went back to my hotel. I went back to my hotel room and went to bed, excited for what the next day would bring. All I can say is Day Zero was an excellent experience. Again, I can highly recommend the Amtrak Cascades line for those who want to take a trip from, say, Vancouver, British Columbia to, well, anywhere. Or for anyone coming from Eugene or anywhere up to anywhere on the Cascades Amtrak route. I will say this, again, make sure you're not in a hurry. Though I can definitely say the business class is probably the best. Anyway, that's all for now. Enjoy reading my report. Anyway, this is Anime Man 73 signing off. Before I go, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. and help me rise up the ranks of the algorithm to greatness. And if you like what you're viewing, make sure to check out all my work on Minds, on X, and Substack. Or you can follow me on MeWe, Gab, and X. Well, that's all there is here. This is Anime Man 73 signing off. Stay true to yourselves, stay classy, and God bless you all. See you next time!